The Tokyo Paralympics. The Tokyo Olympics have just concluded. Now, the same venue is hosting another Olympics, the Paralympics. Have you heard of the Paralympics? The Paralympics is a series of international multi-sport events in which athletes with a range of physical or intellectual disabilities take part. The Paralympics are held just after the Olympic Games. There are two Paralympic Games, winter and summer. These are held immediately after the Olympic Games and are organized by the International Paralympic Committee or the IPC. Anastasia Tespagores from Long Island in the US was a fun-loving, independent teenager with an array of friends and a full social diary. When she was 15, she completely lost her vision due to Stargardt's disease, a genetic disorder that causes macular degeneration. But she did not let her world go dark. She is now 17 and a para swimmer, that is, a swimmer with a disability. Vision impaired she may be, but Anastasia's disability has not disabled her spirit. She is now a role model and has shown the sporting world the stuff she is made of. She is a world record holder at para swimming. She has changed how the world sees people who cannot see as well as the ordinary able person. For people like Anastasia, the Paralympics are a platform to prove to the world and themselves their skill in their chosen sport. Origin. The founder of the Paralympic Games is Sir Ludwig Guttmann, a neurosurgeon who fled from Hitler's Nazi Germany to England. The first Paralympic Games was held in Rome, Italy in 1960. 400 athletes from 23 countries participated. Today, it has become a truly international sporting event with competitors from over 100 countries. It is interesting to note that the word Paralympic has its origin in the Greek preposition para, meaning beside or alongside, and the word Olympic. It means that the Paralympics are held side by side with the Olympics. The Paralympic Games are held in parallel with the Olympic Games. The Paralympic Games have been held in the same cities and venues as the Olympics by an understanding between the IPC and the International Olympic Committee, which is also known as the IOC. Who can compete? The Paralympic movement gives opportunities for athletes who have at least one of the following 10 impairments: impaired muscle power, impaired passive range of movement, limb deficiency, leg length difference, short stature, muscle tension, uncoordinated movement, involuntary movements, vision impairment, and intellectual impairment. Sporting events in the Paralympics have further classifications based on these disabilities. Some of the disabilities include paraplegia, muscular dystrophy, spina bifida, amputation, etc. Highlights of the Tokyo Paralympics. The 2020 Summer Paralympics were held in Tokyo, Japan between 24th August and 5th September 2021. The symbol of the 2020 Paralympics was a hand fan in a circle filled with dark blue colored check pattern. During the interim period between the Olympic Games and the Paralympic Games, the Paralympic torch relay was held from 12 August to 24 August. This was done to keep the spirit of the Olympics alive. Two new events were included in the Tokyo Paralympics. They were badminton and taekwondo. The volunteers at the venues of the Tokyo Paralympics were called field cast, while those in the city were called city cast. The medals for the 2020 Tokyo Paralympics were made using recycled metals. The medals had 1, 2, and 3 circular dots to represent gold, silver, and bronze respectively, so that they could easily be identified by sportsmen who are visually impaired. The inscriptions on the medal were in Braille. 3 countries that participated for the first time are Bhutan, Guyana, and Paraguay. 3,628 athletes competed under the auspices of 135 National Paralympic Committees, also known as the NPC. Did you know? The tallest person to participate in the Paralympics is Iran's Murtaza Meherzad. He is the second tallest man in the world. He is 8 feet 0.85 inches tall. Vision impaired runners are connected to their guide runners with tiny straps. They indicate to them that he or she now has to make a turn in the pool. They must always finish in front of their guide runners. During futsal, five-a-side and goalball games, spectators have to remain silent as players depend on the sound made by the ball to guide them. Swimmers with poor eyesight have tappers, whose role is to tap the head of the swimmer to indicate to them that he or she must now make a turn in the pool. To Hungarian Paul Zakaris goes the honor of being the first and so far the only athlete to have participated both in the Olympics and in the Paralympics. He had won the bronze medal in fencing in the 1988 Seoul Olympics, but later becoming disabled in a bus accident, he participated in the Barcelona Paralympics in wheelchair fencing. One of the most well-known Paralympic athletes is US swimmer Tricia Zone Hudson. She participated in 7 Paralympic Games and she won 55 medals, 41 gold, 9 silver, and 5 bronze. In the Seoul 1988 Paralympic Games, she won 10 gold medals in 10 events and set 10 world records. The country that has won the most gold medals since the Athens 2004 Paralympic Games is China. It won 63 medals that year, followed by 89 at Beijing 2008, 95 at London 2012, and 107 at Rio 2016. The Paralympic gives an impetus to employing people with disabilities. For instance, Before the London 2012 Paralympics, Britain only employed 2.85 million disabled people. After the event, the number went up to 3.85 million in 2018. In short, the Paralympics tell us that being disabled is not the end of the road. It is, on the contrary, the start of a long, exciting journey for those who dare to dream. You are not disabled. You are differently abled. Narrated by Jyoti Krishnan Unni.